and it was Bob Barker, and it seemed like so real. So of course it's gonna get more advanced.
Yeah,
but
dude, I saw a political ad that was AI.
That you thought was real.
I didn't think it was real, but it's like that's happening now. It's like we got. So it was Cuomo, the New York mayoral race.
Yep. I saw that.
He made an AI ad.
Yep.
Going against
Mamdani.
Can't say the name.
Mamdani. I think it's Mamdani, who is a socialist.
Yeah.
Muslim.
Right. Well, it's funny that it's like, so Bernie Sanders basically brought the word socialist to like Americans' forefront, or consciousness of, okay, maybe this isn't the most. I mean, in 2016 it was a scary word, and then we got more and more used to Bernie Sanders, and we're like, okay, I guess I understand how he means it. And now that this Mamdani guy is running, I feel like they really tried it's socialism, and now he's still so popular. And then they were like, let's go back to our tried and true, and they were like, Muslim. He's a goddamn Muslim. So that's what I'm seeing.
One of the two things, which one sticks? Like Muslim or socialist? Which one riles up
they tried the socialism, and people were like, yeah, that's fine. And they were like, what the okay. Muslim? And people are like, oh shit.
Yeah, you can kind of see where each party has their triggers that they try to use, their labels that they try to use to trigger that, that distant reaction of just like, nope, like not that guy. He's a socialist, or he's Muslim. He wants Sharia law, and
that's what they're going for. Because apparently New Yorkers are like, yeah, socialism, aight. And then so they're like, Sharia law, and people are like, oh fuck,
Yeah,
like,
and I don't know enough, especially with New York, but obviously New York's our biggest city that has the huge influence.
Let's see if my car goes around. I want to see if it does that sometimes. It doesn't matter. It's going. Yeah. Okay. Well.
But no, the whole socialist thing has an aura of liberal ideals that are, to me, like utopic. Like it sounds good in principle, but not in practice, like we've talked about before. That's what seems is the road that their ideologies lead to. Like it sounds great, but it's in practice it's terrible. And the whole in practice thing, it also is different in the sense that America's a different country than other countries. We're vastly different. We're more mixed populace, more integrated.
Sure.
And so it may be harder to have more socialistic ideals.
That's true too. The socialism where it does work, it seems to work best in somewhat homogenous.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like-minded. When everyone's like on the same page.
Yeah, everybody's on the same page and more trusting of each other.
And they're in that the government.
We're not a trusting culture.
Right, exactly. Yeah, ask any American if they trust their government. And it's just like, it doesn't matter who's in power. They're like, no, of course I don't fucking trust the government.
But that's also a byproduct of trusting each other. Like,
yep, absolutely.
We don't trust each other like we did, in the 60s. From all accounts of the past, in the 50s, 60s, like you used to leave your door unlocked,
Absolutely, yeah.
Now it's like lock immediately, lock 3 times, like and I don't know what that's a byproduct of, but it isn't good for your culture, your society.
Nice, it did that without me doing anything. Sweet. Sometimes the stop intersections, it's like a grandma like wants to let everyone go, and I'm just like, oh god, but it's your turn. And,
yeah. That's a whole weird thing with the automated system.
But it did that one fine, so that's good.
Maybe it's just how everybody enters the space. If someone enters it faster, maybe they'll let them go.
Yes.
Everybody enters it in a safe manner, then it
what it does
registers.
What's this one's thing is like, if it sees anyone creeping,
then it just lets them go.
It's like, oh, I don't want to fuck with that.
Yeah.
It's like,
you go. You're obviously impatient.
Even though like us humans, we just I see
what the fuck is this shit? Blocked off.
Guess we're not going to Golden Gardens.
You think we could go the other way? Is there an alternate
Yeah, let me
route?
Oh, I had my left turn signal on the whole time. How embarrassing. Is there an alternate route? I'm pretty sure. Oh, wait, I think there is.
There is. Yeah, that's the way we came up before.
Or is there?
Or that's the way I normally come
For
up.
cars, that's it. That is it. I mean, there's ways to, like, walk, but screw it. We'll go somewhere else. We'll go, Ooh, let's
Richmond.
go.
Richmond Beach,
Richmond.
Goodway. Yeah.
Was there any good beaches around
Well, there was
here?
Go back.
Oh,
Or Marina
that's
Beach
interesting.
Park.
I've never been there. Have you?
I think I have, but yeah, it's a marina. It's cool. But yeah, that might be the difficult thing with our society is that we're not as hive-minded, you know? Like the American ideals and aren't as defined or refined within our culture.
Right.
But I mean, obviously there's beauty in mixing, but then like how do you get everybody to have a similar philosophy?
Exactly, and you can't. So
I think you can, it's just how you do it.
So what I was gonna say about that is I'm like wanting to reach for my steering wheel.
That's what I'm saying. You're like right on the edge of this little
like it sees it, so good job, Tesla.
Good Tesla. Good Tesla.
You didn't kill him.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is a good test.
You like click OK to kill. Yes, you can kill him. It's like that protective of you. It's like, is this a harmful civilian? Yes.
It's got like standard and Mad Max and stuff. This one doesn't have Mad Max, but it does have like different profiles where you can make it like not aggressive, but almost like that. It's like
dude, Mad Maxes are great. I watched all those.
Yeah,
like
those are scary, man.
Dunes and Mad Max is like going to Japan on some of these longer like plane rides I've watched. That's the only time I watch movies. Is on a
Oh
plane.
yeah, really?
I don't watch movies.
You don't go to You don't go to the theater?
No, I've been wanting to. Actually, the girl I'm talking to, she loves horror. So I've been saying we need to go see a horror movie. She's going to Chicago, the play, I think, in the Fifth Avenue Theater. So,
Okay.
you never heard of that? That's one of the bigger plays, Chicago.
Does the play have? I mean, I don't know theaters, so I don't.
Yeah.
But anyways. Oh, I was gonna say for the socialist thing. I feel like if America ever did really want to do like a socialist thing, like it would have to be in like some kind of small town where everyone trusts each other, not the size of New York City.
Yeah.
Where there's so many different viewpoints and perspectives. I mean, look, I'll be honest, like I feel like when people were afraid of Bernie Sanders becoming president, I feel like this is the same thing where it's like, okay, he probably is gonna win. I mean, not that Bernie won, but this guy, he'll win. And what I'm saying is if Bernie had won, like there's still Congress, there's still all these things that everyone's like, oh my God, America will become it's like, no. It's like the president really can't do much if everyone else is not with him.
The hyper fears of this drastic change, like, you know, with Trump, it's like, oh, he's going to be a dictator. We're going to be, you know, a dictatorship. It's like, that's just the fear.
I don't want you to do that.
Yeah.
I appreciate the effort, but...
Was it thinking about it?
Yeah, it was good. It was about to. So I'm like, no, there's cars coming.
Really?
I mean, once it had gotten, it would have seen that there's cars.
Yeah. I didn't know.
I'm more left than it's the camera right now.
I didn't know I would think about that on a one-lane road.
Yeah, because like whenever there's like a garbage truck or something like that, like it is programmed to pass shit. So
yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, now it sees a red light, so it'll be patient, I think.
But yeah, with the politics, we get into these. They try to create a hyper fear of a candidate, and I honestly, if Bernie was the nominee, he would have won. He had, at least that was the feeling and the vibes that I had, that he had the.
Well, especially for, I mean, he
had the people.
I think
had the backing.
Maybe I've told you this before, but for 2016, maybe not. But for
2020 or 2024.
For 2024, I think so, because 2024 was all about whichever president, whichever party could really illustrate that they are, the number one thing was, are they attacking this crisis level inflation? That was where the middle voters were going. That was their number one thing. So it was whoever could prove that. And Donald Trump was ripping. He was like, man, those damn Democrats, I told you they were going to do inflation. I told you.
Yeah.
You know, and so people were like, all right, that's what he's saying. So, and people have this memory of like, oh yeah, I think good times were good under Donald Trump because the stock market was good. You know, the economy was fine. It wasn't like Blockbuster or anything like that, but it was, you know, way better than, prices were way better than what we have today. So I feel like if Bernie Sanders had gotten the nomination, that would have been one hell of a competition between Trump and Sanders.
It would have
for 2024.
Sanders had more of the people.
Because he's so good at getting to the little guy, just like Donald Trump is.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
What do you call it? The disenfranchised, or like getting
the
to
forgotten. You know, like that type of voter.
Well, swaying people that maybe weren't going to vote to vote.
Yes.
Those the margins, the people like who don't know what they want or what they want to do, like, you know, they might sit it out because they don't like either candidate. But yeah, creating some likableness to get those extra voters. No, my thing with Trump and what he did that was so powerful to me was go on all these long form podcasts. And I think that was
super powerful.
I think, you know, and his son was involved and telling him to go. It's like, see Theo Vaughn, see these comedians who are actually like reasonable, good people, and they're not politically based, but they can still ask.
No, that's the power. That's the thing. That's, people are like, I'll do these you know, political things. It's like, no, those people are already going to vote, and they're 99.9% of them, or 90% of them, let's say, already know who they're going to vote for. If you want the extra margin votes, like you were saying, you go to those weird places, those avenues, those channels where it's like, dude, those people might not have voted, but now they might.
Trump did such a great job of going on people I love, all the podcasts, you know, Flagrant with Andrew Schultz, Theo Vaughn.
Did you hear that Kamala Harris turned down Rogan?
Yeah. No, Rogan was inviting everybody.
Yeah,
Rogan is a conversationalist. He's intrigued by different people.
Let me ask you this: do you think that would have changed the election if Kamala had done Rogan?
No, because she would have self-sabotaged. She's not good on her own, off script. Trump is great. He can talk to the normal person, and he's more genuine than any other candidate outside of Bernie. You know, and the thing is that we have to remember is these people are a part of a system. Trump isn't the end-all, be-all. Like, he's not a dictator. So all politicians fall along those lines where they're not capable of doing everything they say they're going to do.
So that's why I always tell people, it's like they got so many.
Well, the bureaucracy of it all. They're not capable.
Well, I will say Trump does have Congress at the moment.
Yeah.
You know, not a super majority, but he does have a majority. So.
But it is still very hard to make change.
And I mean, there's even like Marjorie Taylor Greene speaking out against him. Rand Paul. Those sorts. Rand
Paul is one of my favorites. Ron and Rand. Once I started learning about those guys and seeing some of their interviews and things that they do, like they seem, you know, Bernie's in that category of just the more genuine politicians that don't seem to be bought and sold or whatever.
Yeah, they're less likely to always repeat the same lines as every single other.
They seem more genuine. Like Ron Paul, you know, during my growing up, you know, my era, like he was a candidate that I would have voted for had I don't know if I was 18 at the time or not, but he was someone I would have voted for just because he seemed to have the most realistic view of things, and he was one of the more disruptors had he gotten a chance. But it's a weird space that we live in politics now, because we're recycling people, and you know, from Bill to like Hillary getting a shot, you know, from Obama to Biden getting the shot, like especially within the Democratic Party, it's definitely these super like-minded, super tied people.
Yeah.
With Republicans, it's a little different, even though not completely.
That's the thing you have to...
George Bush and then, George Bush Sr., Jr., whatever.
That's the one thing that you have to... It doesn't matter who you are. You have to love about modern Republicans is that they're, like, data analysts. Like, okay, this isn't working, let's try this, Like, they fuck around and, like you said, like the podcast and stuff like that,
The podcast thing was huge. And then the beauty of it, and Rogan highlighted this for me, is that when you're talking to somebody within a certain time frame, 20, 30 minutes of talking to somebody, they could just bullshit. But when you get within an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, now you're getting to the depths of someone's personality. Now you're opening up the discourse. And that's why Rogan's podcast is generally 2.5, 3 hours long. And you're really getting to know somebody. So like, I use this term like, these people are my IBFs, my internet best friends. And they're people that I've learned to love through watching them talk in these different spaces, in these different podcasts.
Yeah.
And, one of my friends chastised me, my roommate Andrew chastised me for watching too many podcasts or whatever. But I'm watching content that I want to watch that's related to things that I care about or people that I like. And I'm getting, so like a lot of these people have written books, but I'm getting to know them in their words, and reading's great, but talking to somebody is like one of the biggest things you can do to genuinely gauge how someone is or their mindset. And so with politicians, that was awesome about Rogan. He invited everybody on, Bernie, Tulsi, Trump.
I remember when he was one of the first ones to invite Bernie.
Yeah, and I don't know how much it's incumbent on him to want these people on, but as soon as he started doing it, he had to open up the forum to everybody, because otherwise he'd be looked at as bad and favored.
That is true, but he's also a private citizen, so really he didn't have to.
No, he doesn't have to. But what I'm saying, his podcast is so big that he understood the role that he plays in American society and maybe beyond, that he had to have these other people on and give them a chance to talk. And he's into politics because he's gotten older, and as you get older you get into those things and you start having conversations. But ultimately his podcast is for him and what his agenda or whatever things he wants to talk about or whatever. But I hate so much that people like look down on him for certain views. It's like, and then, or people that are associated with him or that follow him. It's like, I love Rogan because he just loves to talk to people. And I don't align with everything that he says, but people will lump you in that. Oh, you follow Joe Rogan, and they'll be dismissive of it. It's such a weird phenomenon like thing. And it's like, Rogan's fantastic, and he's had a lot of health experts on. He's had a lot of athletes and just things I love, like UFC fighters. He does strictly a UFC podcast with certain UFC fighters, and he does like a what do they call it? Like a fight. They just do a live, I forget what he calls it, but it's pretty awesome, where they watch the fights. Obviously you can't see the fights, but him and a few friends.
Like not a voiceover, but a narration, a commentary.
Yeah, I forget what he calls it, but it's awesome. And I don't know, the people that like hate Rogan, I'm just like, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
You could not like his ideals, but you could love what he's about, because he has genuine conversations with people from all walks of life.
That's the thing.
Neuroscientists, archaeologists, journalists, athletes, politicians, and like he's having these long-form discussions like we're doing now, like just talking about life, getting to know people that he in different realms and walks of life.
I always do think it's silly when people hate someone based off of, let's say, their ideals. It's just like such a silly endeavor to hate someone. Like, I think it's based off of what they maybe believe. You should always judge, I guess is the word, someone if like on their actions, like what they've done and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna dislike or hate someone based off what they think, if you talk to anyone long enough, you'll find something that
No,
you don't agree with, and then you're like, what are you gonna do? Shut them out? It's like, and that's the whole American experiment. Is like, what happens when you put a lot of diverse, different people in a room? You know, we're not homogenous, so it's very, in my opinion, un-American to be like, he doesn't agree with me, I'm shutting him out. You know, it's just like.
Well, that was Charlie Kirk's big thing. Is like when communication stops, violence starts.
Yeah.
And so that's why he was big on just like having open discourse. There were moments where he could be very. So the thing that I think gets dangerous for people is when you're so stout in your opinion that you kind of dismiss others, or you say it in an egotistical manner. And, you know, like Rogan's not like that. He's not very egotistical. Kirk could be that way sometimes, inflammatory, I guess.
Oh, I think that's kind of how his internet thing kind of blew up, is by him being and putting his foot down and having good arguments against people that maybe weren't as prepared as he was, you know.
Well, liberal type people, they'll chastise him for talking to students and people who are ill-prepared for debate. But his whole thing is like opening up debate and opening up people's minds to other perspectives and sharing his ideals. I think there are moments where Kirk, you know, maybe more early in his rise to fame, where he was more inflammatory.
Okay.
Or at least it looked that way to people. And so they hold that over him in such a way that they despise him. And I think that's where it gets dangerous, when you start having, you should be stout in your opinions, especially if you're a strong person. You should, and he was always fair with people. So that's why I hate to see so many people hate him or judge him so harshly. He was always fair with debate, and he would always let people talk, and he wouldn't interrupt. But there were times where I can see him being more inflammatory, and I think maybe that's a bit of an ego thing or whatever it is, and that's what really riles people up, is you know, just being so staunch in your opinion and so anti something.
Yeah.
And you could be about your opinion, but do it in a way that doesn't degrade, or, you know, I don't know. It's weird Kirk to me seemed like such a great person. I've listened to some of his inflammatory statements, and a lot of it's taken out of context, and that's another thing our culture struggles with, is contextualization of conversations.
He definitely had, I don't know anything about him, I just know what I've read, but from what I have read, that doesn't seem extremist. He definitely didn't seem to be more of a traditionalist, rather than, let's say, someone who's like with modern progressive, you know, values. So I think that rubs a lot of people the wrong way. And, you know, like in today's world, the word traditionalist.
Yep, I was just going to speak to that. A lot of people
don't even really.
I was going to speak to that, and
I think that's even in like an appropriate thing. Like, it's like can't even have that type of person in the same room as you know?
Traditionalists, conservative, you know, values, that stuff gets lumped in such a way that it's looked at negatively. But I think the reality is, and you know, this, I watched something that spoke to this narrative of that every civilization has survived off some form of traditional conservative values. And when the values and morals change and they get loosened, that's when society becomes a little bit more chaotic. And I think we're kind of living through that right now.
Do you believe that?
Yeah, like right now, where we don't even know what a, you know, male and female and all this narrative, like it's kooky. It doesn't make any sense. And like, we're living through that. And I don't know exactly why it's what it's a byproduct of.
It's a cool sidewalk. I've never seen that before.
No, either have I. A raised, like, I don't know if it's like a bike.
It's almost like a bridge, but
yeah.
I don't think there's a cliff right there. Maybe there was.
Oh.
Maybe there was. Maybe, yeah. Look at that house. It's a Seahawk house.
Yep, that has to be a Seahawk
that is
house.
Those exact colors.
Yep.
This is a beautiful. I don't think I've been here before.
No, I don't think I've been down here either.
It's a rainy day, but it's beautiful.
It's let up, so we're not.
Yeah. No, this car's doing great.
Yeah.
I feel very comfortable at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mad Max mode. I don't think I have that. This is an older. The cameras are older, so it's like it doesn't have like. Whenever there's like a new update that people are making YouTube videos about, you know, I'm just sitting over here like, well, I'll get that next year, I guess. Yeah. But it still does the fucking job. So.
No, it's been great. It's awesome.
Okay, I might help it with this just in case it gets. I'll let the bus go.
Are you gonna stop?
Yeah, he should go.
Oh, now the bus signals.
Okay, so I haven't done anything yet.
Okay, so it should go after the bus.
It should go right now.
Yep.
Good
nice.
job. Good job.
That we're gonna be safe when robots take over because we're gonna be appreciative.
Oh, smooth.
We're like, good robot,
Smooth.
good AI. Yeah, we love you. Yeah.
You are not a clinker.
Yeah.
You matter.
We're gonna be.
You matter.
Living in utopia with the robots. They're gonna let us. We're like the little chimps that they let.
Yeah, we got the collars on in our cage with bananas.
Hey, what do you need? What do you guys need?
The robots are like, hey, do that funny thing again where you put gas and fart.
Yeah,
it's like, okay.
Yeah.
And then the robots laugh. Okay. I always get prepared. See how slow it takes? Okay, but that was fine. That was okay.
Well, that's legal. Like, I get caught up because I 2.5 second boom, I'm gone.
Right. It's not human, but it is legal.
Yeah.
It's very legal for sure.
It's got it. That's how it's got to be.
Yeah, I think when cars start driving everyone, people are gonna chill out a little bit. Because you don't have to fucking deal with anything.
Yeah, you won't have the roadway stress. It'll probably flow better.
Yeah.
People don't understand how or congestion, traffic, like, harms people. Like, road rage, like, it's a real thing. Like, people are stressed. They just want to be home. But when you're flowing like this, like, everything's cool. Like, you can be more relaxed. You and I know how to get out of that state, but a lot of people don't. They're like, fucking traffic, I'll just put on a podcast and I'll be good, you know? Like, but a lot of people don't know how to mitigate their own internal stress.
Oh, and we've talked about this before in a more general sense, not just related to driving, is when people are, a lot of times people are so not good at kind of looking at themselves from a third person point of view and, you know, checking themselves and being like, all right, do I need to be tripping right now?
Yeah, well,
people don't have that.
It's an awareness thing. Actually, this is one of the things I did want to talk about is the awareness, like internal awareness of yourself, and I don't know what mechanisms you use to like create your own awareness, but one of them is egoless. So like you take your ego back, and then the other is to get feedback and to ask people questions around you. You know, like, how do you feel about me, or you know,
Jeff, how do you feel about me?
I feel great about you. That's why I'm here. I guess you could ask it with certain
specific,
refined, with a specific thing. I already told you about your relationship and, you know, everything like that. But yeah, like, I think I'm trying to think about how I've done with my life and like how I've created certain awarenesses about my behavior, you know, and then learning to be a better person, you know, day to day. But I think that's a core thing to me, and I want to see that in others. So that's why I try to be expressive if I don't like something that someone does. Like, I'm somebody that I'm not gonna spend time with you if you're somebody that's gonna bring my life down. You know, I'm spending time with you because you're somebody that's I enjoy or that I like to be around. So I've always been that way. So I don't have bad people in my life, you know.
That's good.
And I'm trying to think of what I've done personally to create that.
I think for me, at least in the self-aware point that we were talking about, is just seeing how bad things have devolved, at least in our country. and being like, I just don't want to be like that. And I really, that's like my number one thing is I don't ever want to get to the point where I'm like, my skin is red and I'm like shouting at someone that I don't agree with, you know, and hoping that they die or am happy that they die or something like that.
Yeah, that's such a weird...
Then I have lost the plot. You know, it's game over for me. So I think that's what it is for me. Is like seeing everyone else kind of get that crazy and being like, that's not what I want.
Yeah, so you're just observant, and then you're observant of others in your surroundings that led you to not play into. Yeah, that was a point of the ride where I'm like,
when is it gonna slow? I'm actually gonna slow it down right now because I think it's kind of wet.
Yeah.
It's fine, but better to be safe than sorry.
It might have had to put on the brakes a little harder. How fast it was going.
It would have, but I'm fine with taking over.
When it comes to awareness, actually one of the big things for me, and I learned this very early. Mm-hmm. You could have went there.
I could have. It's wet.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes I'll, burn out because I'm trying to go too fast. Actually, the foundational things, and I talk about this a lot.
Get out of the road, bird.
Would it detect the bird?
Did you feel it? It went
Yeah, it kind of did.
That's why.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not going to kill a bird or a squirrel.
There was just a story of a Waymo killing a... The article described... I love cats, all right? I love cats, but the article described it as a one-of-a-kind cat. And I'm like, okay, maybe we're...
Dude, speaking of one-of-a-kind cat, there was a video of a man in Renton. It was like from the 80s. And his cat...
Slow down.
...was so cool. Like his cat would dress up, like he'd dress his cat up, not his cat would dress up.
Cat's just like...
His cat would put on clothes and no, he would dress his cat up, but his cat was like a dog. And it was like a local story.
The fuck are you doing? Go, bro.
It was a local story that, obviously made the news, and his cat, like he'd go into Jack in the Box and he'd be in there for like an hour. His cat would just wait outside. And as soon as he would wait outside for him, just like
very uncat-like. Okay.
Exactly. So it was.
Did he leash him or?
No.
Wow.
The cat was off leash. Would go everywhere with him. It was
That's sick. Some cats are like that. Yeah.
Yeah. It was a local story. I know a fraction of my friend group are cat people. Okay. So they're like really into their cats, and like one of my friends, Zach, like had to leave our fantasy trip because his cat had surgery and had to be back home. But yeah, I think at least a quarter of my friend group are really cat people. Anyways, what I was gonna say is the awareness thing for me started early, where when I was young, I learned to be grateful.
Really?
That gratefulness led to being more aware. So that's what I tell people all the time, that if you have gratitude as your foundation, gratefulness for life. I used to be grateful, or not I used to be, but I'm always grateful for hot water, for a roof over my head, for food.
So can I ask, was your childhood like not great, and then
No.
Because a lot of kids,
I know what you're saying, like coming from
sometimes the only way to know how good you have it is to be in a situation where you're like, this is fucked.
Yep. No, you're exactly right. That's why I think we're in what we're in. That's why I think we're in the state that we're in.
I know what you mean.
Is that most people have lost that gratefulness because we survive so easy. I go into a store, I'm like, holy shit, I don't know what to buy because there's just in abundance.
Yeah.
But I'm constantly grateful, and that gratefulness leads, in my opinion, to awareness of your state of being, and leads to good outcomes of your mindset. I tell this story all the time about one of my friends, my buddy Keegan, who you met. And I haven't seen this practiced by many people, but my buddy Keegan, we were riding bikes on the Green River Trail, And he was so thankful. He's like, man, I'm so thankful this trail is here so I can ride my bike. When is the last time you've heard any friend have that level of gratitude for something like that?
Yeah.
Nobody does. Like, this car is fucking amazing.
I do that a lot with this car. And
Yeah.
I'm like, honestly, I'm so grateful for this.
Yeah. And you were, you're not making tons of money. You're somebody who saw the beauty in a product and said, hey, this is something that I want. You went out and got it, and it's been nothing but good to you. You used it for Uber and stuff for a while.
I did, yeah. It's a very low maintenance car, and that's kind of why I was like, yeah, I can do this. And I didn't have to feel guilty about it. I want to take over so bad, even though I trust this thing so much. It's just like, okay, but it is slowing down appropriately. That's good.
Yeah,
because it's like
on a turn. Yeah,
it's kind of wet,
It's wet, and
I do have brand new tires, so I'm not worried about it. But
does it detect weather?
So I mean, it detects traction and where it's at.
Okay.
So if it's putting in an input and it's feeling it going somewhere else, it will slow down.
Because there's a speed limit, but does it if it were heavy rains, maybe it'd drive 5 miles per hour slower?
It does do. So it was raining this morning. I noticed it going just slower than it normally would. I think that might be a visibility thing. So I don't think it's necessarily a rain, it's not that advanced, but I think it's good enough. It does what it needs to do.
Yeah, it does what it needs to do to be safe. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's one of my foundational pieces, and I had a nightly prayer that I do, just thankful for health and I think that in and of itself leads to great outcomes in your life. It leads to great people in your life, and it leads to more of an awareness and more, understanding of yourself and what's going on.
I think practicing gratitude is one of the most fulfilling things you can do, from a long-term mental health.
Oh, you could have made it, but no. It's too safe.
Don't listen to him.
You're too safe. No, I'm just kidding.
No, absolutely.
I would have went too.
I totally agree that it's such a good practice.
But we're not in a hurry, so.
Yeah.
It's.
But just the gratitude thing is such a good thing to even if it's just once a week. It's
it should be every day, but yeah, having consistent moments of gratitude lead to.
Well, you feel better about things because you do, especially if
you appreciate things.
If you're an American, you're in America, you probably have a lot of things to be grateful for.
We have so
and
much.
I know things suck, but
things suck relative to.
Exactly, it is relative.
Yeah.
If you're not in a war right now, if you don't have malaria right now,
we're not getting bombed. There's not drone strikes. There's always a way to be grateful for breath and life, even in the darkest moment. My thing is thinking about those dark moments and how I would handle them. Thinking about a loved one dying. I kind of do it in the car, and I'll tear up thinking about a family member or a friend dying, or thinking about friends that have been through loss. That a couple friends have lost their mothers, and it hits home because they're a part of me. They're a good friend. So it hurts to think about that, but I try to ground myself, and I think that's led to a lot of positive outcomes in my life, and that to me is a foundation, and doing it every day. My prayer, I go in between, but I try to do it every night, and that's why religion and prayer seem to be so powerful, because you're talking to God, or you're talking to yourself, however you want to look at it, but you're being thankful, being around the table, being around the table with your family and being thankful for your bread for the day, for your food for the day, is that practice in of itself, I believe, is pretty lost on most Americans, but that's a foundation,
Ooh, interesting.
I didn't go hunt any of this food, I didn't process any of this food. I fucking just went to the store and said, hey, here's my card. And
do you think Joe Rogan thanks himself each night? when he brings home something that he hunted?
I think he's grateful. I don't know if he thanks himself.
He's like, "Dear Joe Rogan, thank you, Joe Rogan."
No, he's not an egomaniac like some of these people.
I'm gonna take a whiz.
I've been here before. My friend